Got it. Hi, this is Eva for Once Upon a Timeline. Welcome to Midnight Mandela. So the computer's been a little glitchy. I didn't want to reboot the whole thing, so hopefully I just closed down and restarted a few things. And I guess we'll just play it by ear. It's like magically working all of a sudden, so fingers crossed. I actually didn't even check to make sure. Yeah, my audio looks good. All right. Usually I check that stuff. Anyone else get sick yesterday or today? I was pretty out of it like yesterday and the first half of today. I just was like zoned out. I don't know. It might have been because I ate some wheat, which is usually not that much of an effect on me though, so I'm not really sure, but I feel pretty good right now, so that's cool. All right, so yeah, the computer wasn't working, and then I was a little bit late getting back from work, so I've got nothing really loaded already, but that might be good because I don't know if the computer can handle too much right now. All right, so what's that thing on the thumbnail? Green lynx spider. I just ran into it on one of the subreddits. What was neat about it is it's got, you know, it's one of those things that is turning see-through. So now we've got see-through spiders. Every time I look at those things, I just can't grok how it's see-through. I mean, like, how come there you can't see any veins? You can't see any vesicles, nothing. If you get a close-up on this thing, it's just like it has a couple spots on the outer legs, but like, how is it that you can literally, in some of these images, you can see through this thing to the background? This one's not as ideal one, but it's like, but you can't see any parts inside. Like it's just like a water balloon filled with water, and I just don't really get how the legs operate and stuff if you can see straight through them. And a lot of these creatures are like that. Like, it's just, I don't see how it's possible to be see-through like that. Let's see if this one's big enough. Yes. So you can see straight through, and you there's nothing in there except for maybe these red things right here. I don't get it. Like this is not the most see-through animal, but I did run into it. Like, the head is even quite see-through except for this eye patch here. The abdomen is not see-through, but this is fairly translucent here also. So it takes on the green of the background, I guess. I guess it'd be convenient for camouflage, but I still have trouble wrapping my brain around something that you just can't see any of the interior parts at all. All right, and then let's see. Yesterday, so the world has gone, yeah, monkey. Some people are calling it Money instead of Monkey. Oh, somebody gave me $10. Ooh. See, my computer, oh, it's hurting. 10 something. 10, I think that's dollars, $. Abstract vote, thank you, very much appreciate it. I got 10 of something. Yeah, so that one's a whole interesting one because fish that are transparent. Yeah, I've seen the fish, and I've seen a few other insects, but I haven't seen the spiders yet. So, and I thought it was cool, so I would put it up. You got to have something for the thumbnail. And speaking of the thumbnail, last week I put a thumbnail up, but I didn't talk about it. So now I'm going to do that. And it was a really cool one, too, because I had something to say. Uh-oh. Reload. See, that's what it's been saying. Error code out of memory. I don't know what's going on with that. Hopefully OBS will still crank along. Out of memory. So I'm just going to have to... And it works fine, and then error code out of memory, then it works fine. Okay, so this is the stuolagil. I don't even know. I think it was Iceland. Now it's been like over a week since I investigated this, but it's it's something to see. Open image, a new. Oh, see now, look at that. Boink. I think it's still running though, because it still gave me the clink. Check out this thing. Okay, this is real. It's not like, it looks like something out of some kind of a Dungeons and Dragons movie or something, but I covered a while back that there was only this one known location of these, they're like hexagon basalt columns. And this place was sure as heck not on it. So this place has got hexagon basalt columns, a river that is preternaturally blue, like we did not used to have, like it's dyed blue almost, but it's not. And then here, it doesn't show it too good here, but here is weirdly red. Like, I don't know if it's some kind of bacteria or something. I'm very suspicious that we might get, this is, I think, pretty new. And I suspect we might get more stuff over here. Because if you check it out, the left side, when viewed like just like my thumbnail, you don't see that the left side is, now my screen is giving me trouble. Okay, I'll go use this screen. New tab. You can see here that it's weirdly just like a wall here. And you can see, let me move my water so I can see how red it is here. So we've got three of the, I call it the new reality stuff. We have this basalt columns. Oh, conveniently they're low here and high here. Isn't that neat? And then we have the water that's weirdly blue. And then we have this new like bleeding look. Like we saw that in Arctica, I believe it was. No, Antarctica. I'm sorry, Arctica is gone. Antarctica, and that was on the snow. But here we have, so we have this feeder river that's red, and then it's blue in here. I'm sure they're going to say it's some kind of bacteria or something, but it's very cool. Now let me see if this will come up. Why is top chat? Let's see, I can convert to live chat, but the chat is gone. See. Try again. Oh, this is not boding well. I think I could keep doing the show, but I won't be able to check messages if this keeps up. I'll try closing these other ones, see if that helps any. You can do it. Yes. Whoa. And I got $5 more from Abstract Vote. Thank you very much. Keep it up. Appreciate it. Shouldn't we be able to see a spider's green blood in there? That's a good question. What color are spiders' blood again? So I've heard there was a bunch of computer problems. I thought I had dodged it. I heard that yesterday from other people. The human blood oxygen in spiders, oxygen is bound to hemocyanin. Yeah, just tell me the color. They all have blue blood. No, spiders have colorless blood. It's called hemolymph and transports nutrients, hormones, oxygen, and cells. Spiders don't have blood. They have hemolymph. It is copper-based, not iron-based. Both of their main function is to carry oxygen for respiration. Copper, rust, green, iron, red. Yeah, I don't believe that we had another type of blood in the old timeline. There was just... there was no copper-based blood. Okay, yeah, this is weird. The eye patch looks like a crown. I missed that one. What spider has? Yeah, spider has copper gray space green blood. I thought it was some other color last time I checked, though. I'm not 100% on that one, though. So I'm like, okay, now we're so I guess they can be see-through very easily then, as they have see-through blood. I really only think we had the regular hemoglobin blood in days of old, though. Okay. So we did stuolagil, and we did that. Put that aside. Alrighty, now this one just showed up on Yahoo. Okay, so what I remember is after mating, octopuses would die. Okay, that's how it was, been for a while. I'm not sure if it went way back, but it was just that they would die. And then they would like stop eating and die. But this week I saw a new storyline that they would mutilate themselves afterwards. Octopuses tragically destroy themselves after mating. This is a whole nother level. We might finally know why. So this is not new information in this timeline, but now they're saying it's because of some chemical released that makes them agitated. That doesn't really say why, though. I mean, why would some chemical be released that makes them agitated? After a female octopus lays her egg, she stops eating and begins self-mutilating, tearing off her skin and biting off the tips of her tentacles. By the time a young octopus wriggles out of its egg, the mother is already dead. A few months later, its father will die too. Yeah, that's a whole new thing. Really like this timeline very much with this kind of stuff in it. But, I mean, like, what reality, what nature would do such a thing? They used to just die, and that was it. Yeah, monkey soups. Yeah, monkey. Oh, there's a whole thing with that. You know, I got to be careful what I say because who knows what'll be illegal next week. But so monkey stuff. That's a whole weird thing because first of all, the smallpox vaccine is supposed to work for monkeypox. There's some people, you know, I'm kind of looking at the descriptions of them, and there's a mild form smallpox that has about 1% death rate. And then this is the mild form monkeypox that has about a 1% death rate. The same vaccine supposedly works for both. And I'm looking at the pictures of them, and you can't tell any difference in how they appear. And it looks like a lot of people have real mild case and don't even really get that many pox, or not that you could see. I mean, there's conspiracy theories that that smallpox was never actually eradicated, but that they just got a milder form and they renamed it monkeypox. So you got that, and that is an older, well, at least a couple of years old conspiracy theory. So there's a whole big thing going on in there. But supposedly monkeypox is not that easy to spread, and supposedly it has had outbreaks in the past and nobody cared. So I don't know what's going to go on with this thing, but yeah, lots of monkey business. There's a lot of interesting storyline to dig into on the monkeypox. So they're probably going to push a chicken. See, that's another thing. So I saw this image and they said it was monkeypox. And then somebody else dug up that, like, did an image search and found that the exact same image was used for shingles. I'm like, so we got shingles, monkey. So shingles is one of those that is known to get re-stimulated, like re-erupt from the arm pokety pokes of the previous disease. So, you know, you got mild form smallpox, monkeypox, and shingles that are all showing, they're all using the same imagery for all these. It's really hard to figure out what in the flying monkeys is going on around here. I guess we'll just have to see how they spin this out. Anyway, I haven't said anything technically untrue, so I think we'll be all right. All right. Because, you know, I don't have any opinion on this stuff. I'm just saying what's out there. All right. This is an interesting one because I noticed this on me. What was that? What date? It was like a couple days ago. I have never had this, and suddenly I do have this. I've never heard of this. I've never known anybody who had it. Milan. So I looked in the mirror the other day and I look at my arm and there's like this white spot on it. I don't know if you could actually see it, but I'm like, what's that white spot? And then I look and there's another white spot. And I realize I've got little white spots on me. I'm like, the hell? There's some on my back. I'm like, the skin looks normal. It just doesn't have any melanin right there. So I look it up and I guess it's like a thing. 87% of people over 40 supposedly have idiopathic guttate, hypomelanosis. And it basically just means like spots of skin depigment. It's like the opposite of freckles. And I've just, it's weird. I just, I don't know this thing, you know. So here's some images of it. My skin's not that dark, so it doesn't show up that much, but the spots are a little larger than that. They're just like, I call them reverse freckles, because instead of having a big old spot of color, you have a big old spot of no color. But I never had these, and now I have like 20 of them. Now, they don't really show up that much if you have light skin, but it's just still weird. It's just, I'm calling them reverse freckles because it's better than idiopathic guttate hypomelanosis, which I can't remember. There's like a close-up of one. Ugh, that's not helping at all, is it? No. So yeah, it's like, I guess if I had darker skin, I might have seen it sooner, but I've never seen that. And so on dark people, it would show up like they would look pretty pebbly. Because, I mean, look at that. It looks like a granite speckles. You know, there's all these different colors on here. And I'm just kind of wondering if we're going to get, you know, maybe in the next 10 years or so, we might get some really interesting coloration. Because look, you know, there's all these different colors. It's supposed to be harmless. They say they don't know what causes it. They think it might have to do with skin, with the sun, but they're on like my back, and that area didn't get a lot of sun, so I don't know. Yeah, we're getting speckled, I guess. White spots have a name, yeah. Well, I don't know. I've never had the freaking things. Yeah, they're always in California wanting to wear the muzzle, but I don't, not doing it. Octopus have blue blood. I think we have some, isn't there some translucent octopus though? I'm trying to remember. Come on, you could do it. This is a new error. And every time, see, now how does octopus have blue blood, but then they can be so translucent? Is it like really light blue blood or what? Because, yeah, I know I saw some really translucent octopuses. Okay, so like this one. Rarely seen translucent deep sea octopus. Open new link. Yeah, so where's the blood then? You know, even at least this guy, you can see a little bit of the structures. The spider, you couldn't see anything. So, there we go. It looks like I can't have too many open at once. All right, so what's the next thing? Oh, this one, yes. How could I forget this one? Is there any cure for it? They don't even know what causes it, but no, apparently not. It's supposed to be harmless though. It's like freckles, but the reverse. They don't know what causes it, and you just old people get it, I guess. I don't know. Although 40 is not that old, so I mean 78% of 87% of people over 40. So any of you guys that are over 40, you have an almost 90% chance of having these things. I get sick more often, but it's over very quickly. Yeah, it seems like, I don't know. I wonder if it's just shift related, because that's what I've noticed. It's like I don't really get sick. I feel like I'm sick, or like, when you're sick, you feel really tired and run down, but then there's no sniffles, sneezing, there's no fever, there's no coughing, nothing really hurts. And then it's gone, and it's like, well, what was that? And it can be gone so fast. It just 4 hours later, you feel completely fine. Well, what kind of virus does that? It's just so there's been some people saying if you just try to, like, if you feel that, like, try fasting and not eating much, might get it over with faster. I mean, I generally only eat once a day now anyway, so yeah, so we got to be careful, Kim, about what we say on here, because YouTube might decide that it's disinformation, and then they'll delete the entire show. So that's why I can't say what, these poxes are exactly, because, technically we don't know and all that, and just got to be careful. I woke up last night with some kind of twisted knee pain. No idea how this could happen. Yeah, I know. I wake up with some pain, or I'm like, my left pinky hurts, or some kind of stupid thing, and then it won't hurt all the rest of the day, and then 12 hours later it'll hurt again for a while, and then it won't. It's like, well, if I hurt it, shouldn't it hurt the whole time until it gets better? It's stuff like that. Anyone see the IMAX show today? So I heard that they had a really neat guy on that talks about the nature of reality and perception, but I didn't actually watch the show because I had some other stuff going on. Then I had to get ready for this show. But I do think you probably want to swing by IMAX, because that guy, I believe, was a pretty famous guy in science too. So I think Jerry was pretty excited about having him on. He was like one of the bucket list people that he really wanted to have on there. I don't believe there's statistics. Yeah, I know what you're saying, but I mean, it might be future timeline stuff. I don't see how I went from no white spots to a lot of white spots, in a very short period of time. But there has been some question if we had shifted lately, so. Could be old memories are coming up as pain and we have to deal with it. Yeah, I don't know, or there's something there shifting physically. I had knee pain too. Anatomy changes. Yeah, the knee, it was always a complicated one, so it's kind of harder to tell. I have not had that, but knock on wood. But sometimes I'm a little bit later than a lot of people, I noticed. Like, I'll be like, oh, I didn't get it. And then 2 days later, I'll get it. So that's why I'm like, I don't want to say anything. All right, so this one is interesting. So this one is one that Shari brought up. So we had covered before that the Sphinx looked like it was different, and it also looked different in a similar way to the Statue of Liberty. So a few weeks ago, we were saying the eyes on the Statue of Liberty look weirdly blank. And we also had been talking about how the eyes on the Sphinx looked kind of gouged out and just not nearly as good as they used to be. Now, from some angles, it still looks, not too horrible. But from other angles, excuse me, I'm like weird hiccup. See, from this angle, it looks like there's no eyes there now. Now, from this angle, it looks like there is eyes. You can kind of see a little poke, but there's eyes are in bad shape now. You can barely see what's going on with them. Let's see, I'll open this one in a new link. Look at the eyes. They look, in fact, they look worse than last time I looked. That nose has got a, it looks like it's shifted since last time. Okay, so that hole looks really big. The eyes are, they look almost not only just gouged, but kind of plastered over. They look bad. That nose looks bad. I'm going to have to pull up a few more pictures of this, actually. But it's interesting because some rumors have been spreading around the internet. And it's not Mandela exactly, but you have to wonder if these changes are what's driving that. Maybe this one? No, it's kind of small. Maybe this one. I think that one's, no, it's that one. Yeah, let's try this one. Yeah, it looks like the nose has got an extra gouge going on. This one looks deeper. This one looks deeper. There looks like there's another one here. A lot of this eye is missing. Yeah, it's worse than last time. So around the internet, Shari found this one. There is this story that the Sphinx eyes have closed. I don't think they've exactly closed, but they're like missing. They're, you know, to a large extent missing. Has the Great Sphinx of Giza closed its eyes? I'll just go to Snopes because they'll give you the story and then, of course, the official rebuttal. There's more to this rumor than meets the eye on this Egyptian landmark. Of course, they say it's false. All right, so the story going around is also that there was like some kind of prophecy. I have never heard of any prophecy of the Great Sphinx closing its eyes, and I have looked into the Great Sphinx stuff many times over the years. And I'm wondering if this is just kind of like rumor mill, because I wasn't able to pin down what the prophecy actually was. Different people were saying different things, but they couldn't source it. Like, where does this prophecy, where is it written down? Was it in such and such tome or whatever? No, there is, I couldn't trace it. And unless it showed up in the last week, then there's, which is not impossible, as you guys know, there is no official source for any of this. But the Great Sphinx of Giza in Egypt has finally closed its eyes after staring down armies, blah, 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 at least according to extremely incorrect photographs on social media. Social media users recently claimed that somehow the creature was getting some shut-eye. All right, see, it's not giving this any source of these, it's not giving the source of their claims other than there were some images that if you see it from a certain angle, it looks like there's no eyes there. So then I guess they were saying it closed its eyes. I think it's more of just a Mandela, that the eyes look blanked out now. And maybe some people looked up there and went, holy hand grenades, that thing doesn't look right. Is that what started it? And then people started taking photos from that angle, and it would look like it didn't have eyes anymore. But they're right. See, something changed. If you saw the Sphinx a lot, and then one day you look up there and it doesn't have eyes, you're going to be like, you know, you might not say all of reality is strangely changing, but you know that thing changed. The energy is like being connected to a battery for me. That was like earlier today. I just felt like something was in my nerves, and it was like, quit it. Just stop. It's like it's almost like there's too much going through there and not enough, like too much energy through too small a wire or something. I was reading about Donald Hoffman. Okay, Donald Hoffman, that was the guy on iMac. I actually saw one of his videos like 6 months ago or something, and it was interesting. I'm curious if he has any comments on the Mandela effect, or if he just thinks it's a mental construct of our bad memories or what? Long before 2012 or 2016, I noticed shifting birthmarks, changing gray hairs, spots and eye color. Yeah, well, I did notice my colors were changing, but I just thought it was more of a biological thing. That creepy thing has changed I don't know how many times. Yeah, and the way that the pyramids, he didn't used to be by the pyramids, the Great Pyramids, but now they're like images of the pyramid right behind the head and everything. It was like, no, that wasn't how it is. Sphinx lips have changed. Let's just check that out one more time. I usually leave it up longer, but the poor computer, it's struggling a bit. Come on, let's have it. We had like a while ago, he had really big lips. Or she, I don't know why I'm calling it he. All right, which one will show the lips good? Maybe this one still. It does look like the lips have gotten a little, they were really big for a while. Like they just look like African American style, really big lips. And they look like they've toned back a lot. You're right. I agree with you on there. This giant gouge through here too. I don't remember this going on here. In fact, this whole thing is interesting because now that I think about it, so I remember the Sphinx was carved out of one giant piece of rock. That was always the story. And it looked like it. And it was weathered sandstone, yes, but it was one giant piece. But now it looks like they're blocks that have been plastered over. And the blocks are losing their plaster in these straight lines. And I know I think there's a lot of plaster work in here. I mean, like, look at here. It just looks like brickwork in here. So, I mean, like, is any of this thing even stone carvings now? I don't know. The ears still look like it, but really this all looks like some kind of plaster or cement that has just calved off. It really doesn't look to me like stonework at all. And yeah, I agree that the lips have changed. So this cheek gouge is a lot worse too. It really looks hideous. It just never looked that bad. It's worse looking every 5 minutes. I wonder if we should look at a larger image of it. You notice there's not a lot of the larger images, and they're all from almost all from this one angle, which makes me a little suspicious. And that one's small. When you don't see a lot of images, sometimes that means something's up. Maybe just check this one out. Just check real quick for any other changes. Okay, one thing I'm noticing here is this repair work used to be all the same color. It now looks like it's smaller bricks, and they're multicolored. There's like brown bricks and tan bricks and light bricks and dark bricks in here. That wasn't the case before. What the heck is going on with the foot? Man, there has been a bunch of changes in this thing. This thing is getting bigger. That was tiny. Now it's huge. I don't know what this thing is. I don't remember that there. And the foot, my goodness, the foot, it's all repaired on the bottom, and then it looks like a whole nother foot on the top. The foot is a mess. The other thing that's changed is this is not this change, it was the last change, but when this tail first showed up, you could see the end of it was clearly a nub tail, like a dog tail or something. You could tell it wasn't a lion because it didn't have that little poof on the end. So originally there was no tail for me, and then this tail grew, and you could see that, maybe it was like a dog or something, because it couldn't be a lion without the poof. But now this part is degraded so much that you could argue there used to be a poof. So yes, okay, I'm glad I checked that, because let's see. See, there's kind of a lack of good images showing that side. Let's just try this one. That looks all different too. It's just flat over there. So this one is so washed out you can't really see much. The heck? Why is it all white? I've never seen it when it was all white in the front. What is this? I have never seen that image. My goodness. What in the hell is that supposed to be? Why is it like that? Postcards. Is a limestone statue that stands on the Giza plateau on the west bank of Nile. Limestone? I thought it was sandstone. So that's just the Sphinx, but why is it freaking white? It doesn't say a thing. Well, that's pretty bizarre. Huh. All right. This is, the more I click, the more confused I am. What is it, like all the timelines are all squashed together right now? What the hell? Or is that the color it is now? I don't know. This is weird. All right, let's look at this one. It looks pretty white in this one. But not like that other one. But it definitely looks a lot lighter down here than up there now. That would be logical considering it had been buried. Well, no, I don't know. That's still not logical. Just because it's buried, I guess, unless they made an argument that the sand altered the calcification or something. Now, over here you can see the dark and light stones. I think these stones are a lot smaller, like more intricate repair work than I recall from before. This thing's definitely getting big. I've been a little suspicious about this for a while. This thing is growing. I don't know what this giant toilet area is going to be. And then there we got this stack over here. All this crap is growing up around the Sphinx. Looks like there's a big tumor on the side over here too. Trying to figure out what that is. All right, we're going to look at this black and white one. No, maybe not. Did I look at that one yet? You can still see the color variation over here. See, I feel like this is shifting more. They didn't used to be in the background of everything. The Great Pyramids back there. Let's see, maybe that one. Yeah, there's definitely something new going on over here. This foot is just weird. This is all plastered really weirdly now. It just, the whole repair thing is different. You can clearly see this edge over here. And you know what? I remember these edges over here being really like blocky and rough, and now it looks all smooth actually. Let's see. Do we have another image of that? This one looks more like how I remember it. This is still smoother than I remember it, but it's a little more like. So, this side, man, it there's nothing left of the Sphinx. It's all just brickwork now. Look at it. It's just bad. The shoulders all scungy, different colored stones. They didn't even match it. Oh, it looks like hell. And this, in the ground around it is now like, I don't know if this is supposed to be from, maybe this is up high and then it shows. I think this must be like an elevated area up here. What's that crap back there? Anyway. Yeah, you get the picture. It's changed. So hopefully you're still getting all this. I think OBS controls the computer the most so that the OBS Studio still sends, I hope. So even if I'm not getting this screen, it should still be sending. I guess we'll find out if you're all saying, You're going to go check and see if Dolly has braces. And the witch says, fly, my pretties. I don't know if we'll be going back, though. I don't know. I guess anything's possible, but it has a vase there now. Yeah, I know. I know, huh? I remember Ben Kenobi turning off his lightsaber before being killed. I do remember that. It was very iconic. He turned it off and he kind of just like made peace with it. And then he was shot, was cut down. He doesn't do that anymore? That's interesting. The guy on iMac was totally ME'd. Was he? Okay, I'm going to have to watch that. Yeah, what do you mean, Skyness? I agree with you. What do you mean? Because, you know, I'm impatient. I can't wait that long. All right, is that the link to the iMac deal? Uh-oh. Doesn't look like the computer liked that link. No. All right. It looks like the rest of it's still working. That's good. All right. Sometimes if I do this, I can fix it. I might not work this time, though, because I don't know. There's a weird thing going on with this memory thing. And if I check memory, it says it's fine. Like, nothing is using up the memory. But then it says, the memory. Did Brave actually collapse? I don't even see it now. Oh, yeah, it looks like it did collapse. All right. We'll close Task Manager. We'll try again. OBS looks like it's still running, though. Yay. All right, Sphinx's. So that's anyway, I guess people are seeing the Mandela, but they're thinking the Sphinx's eyes have closed. But that's interesting, though, because they are noticing that something has changed. Of course, it's been debunked, but... All right, we're waiting for it to load. You could do it. I'm hoping. I guess now's a good time to take some water. See, it shouldn't take this long to load either. This is not normal. Restore. Ta-da! I think we can close that one, though. It's weird that that one restored. Okay, looks like it's coming up. Ooh, is it stuck again? This is not a good sign. Okay, there we go. Check the secret forest in China. All right, let me read the rest of this real quick. Put it on live chat. Every time I go back, I've got to do live chat again. Ooh, this is really getting stuck. No shot. Obiwan Kenobi does not turn off his lightsaber. He just puts the lightsaber to his forehead. That is weird. That is not how it was. I really distinctly remember him just turning it off. And you know, I was pretty young then, so I was like, why did he just give up? You know, it was, I think it means more to me now, you know, I can understand it better, but when I was a kid, I didn't. Like, you would just fight to the end, right? You wouldn't just go like, I give up, you know? So, yes, I do remember that. I don't recall the steps all the way up. I was smooth. Yeah, it almost looks like the Sphinx almost looks like a aquarium, you know? It's like walls on the side, and then there's kind of a melted ice cream Sphinx, and it used to be that the walls would follow the pattern of the Sphinx. And now it kind of does it. All right, this is me being stupid, not the computer being stupid. All right, here we go. Statues, stone sculptures often disintegrate and creatures become more beautiful. Well, the old timeline statues have disintegrated, but we have seen a bunch of new statues show up, like all those weird like step wells and Indian stuff, and those are really nice. So it almost feels like we're having a changing of the guard. Like the old monuments are disintegrating, but the new monuments that have always been there are showing up. That's been my take on it anyway. All right, I'm not clicking on that YouTube link again because it killed the computer last time. Might be a little bit much. Obi-Wan activating his crown chakra. Check the secret forest in China. Okay, I might be able to get that one to load. Oh, yes, yes, okay. Yes, I did see this one being shown. So basically, there was, I think about 3 years ago, they had this cave, and I had it on, and the thing with the, see, I'm not a member of WAPO. So that one I can't watch. So, they had this cave, and then they said it was like the deepest cave ever found, and it was so deep that it had its own forest inside in one spot where there was light that was let in, and it had its own atmosphere. Like it would have weird fog banks and stuff in there, and I was very suspicious on that, but that was the only one at the time. So now we have this sinkhole in China that is very similar, that just was found. I find it hard to believe that they didn't find it until 2022. I mean, you got drones and helicopters, and you've got satellites. I don't see how China, with all their security state, is not going to notice that they have a giant weird sinkhole that has its own little forest and ancient stuff inside of it. So there's what it looks like from far away. And I'm sure that they would have set, drones in there or something sooner than now. So supposedly they discovered this, and it has its own little mini forest in it with these trees and stuff. So it's not a very big image, is it? So there's them looking up from the bottom. There's not very many big images, is there? Wait, that looks like a whole different view of it. Kind of confused now. That cutout looks different than the other one. That one's actually even more interesting looking. So which is it? Was it that other one or this one? You just can't trust anything on the internet anymore, I swear. This looks like a whole third look here. It doesn't even look like the other two. This one could be the first one from a different angle, but I don't think it could be the other one. That looks like a whole different one. They're just pulling any, it's like ridiculous. This is also a giant sinkhole. They're just picking any old image of a giant sinkhole now. These are all different. I quit. Now I'm done. They don't even care. It might be talking about your RAM memory. Maybe, I don't know. I'll have to try rebooting overnight and see if that fixes it. It's weird because I'll have these problems for weeks and then suddenly they'll just be gone. I'll shift to a new timeline where my computer works again. My desktop background is funny. I don't know. I think it was just the default one. I changed it a couple times and then something happens and the default one's back. So I'm forget it. Wait a minute. You're saying the midget killed himself? I was reading part of it. I'm like, oh my gosh. So in the Wizard of Oz, one of the midgets, one of the small people, was so distraught that they killed themselves in the background, and you could see it. You can see the munchkin half-white shrimp midget hanging amongst the trees in the background, set swinging back and forth with the noose. Are you freaking kidding me? No way. Wait a minute. Okay. There's no freaking way that story would not have been out. Oops, I spelled it wrong. Munchkin. All right, unpacking the myth of the Wizard of Oz's hanging munchkin. Freak, I've never heard of it now. They're going to say what it's... Did a member of the supporting cast... off. Reject all. Commit suicide in the set. Of course, the film is also notorious for exacerbating both Judy Garland's use of amphetamines and barbiturates. And then Garland tried to kill herself, let's see, 10 years later. The man originally cast... This is just a bunch of creepy. The man originally cast to play the Tin Man ended up in an iron lung after his silver makeup made of aluminum powder got into his lungs. So, come on. Now, come on. So he ends up in an iron lung after playing the Tin Man from the aluminum powder of being the Tin Man. The Wicked Witch spent time in the hospital suffering second-degree burns on her face and hands. So she, like, melted then. Is that the story? No, come on. Once recovered, she returned to work under the proviso she would no longer have to work with fire. Her stunt double subsequently spent 11 days in the hospital after the broomstick she was on exploded. The burns on her legs never healed. Well, I'm sure they at least kind of healed. There'd still be scars. There is an urban legend that repeatedly surfaced that an actor played a munchkin can be seen hanging themselves during the scene. The studio's official line has long been that what looks like a little person swinging from a tree is actually a shadow cast by a large crane hired by Fleming along with other animals from the Los Angeles Zoo in an attempt to make the forest seem alive. The crane unfolded its wings defensively, casting a strange shadow in the background. Oh, so like a large crane bird, not a large crane like a... I was thinking they meant the equipment. This supposed myth is complicated further by multiple versions of the film that exist. When it was re-released in 1989, the confusing footage had been cleaned up. The bird appears in a different place to where it first appeared. Yet, if you review the original footage, it still feels like something's off. Alternate theories, stagehand wandering the set. Producer Mervyn Leroy once stated that actors had orgies in the hotel and we had to have police on every floor. This is just like gross. This is, oh my God. I don't think any of this happened in my timeline. I'm sorry. One of the little people got drunk, fell in a toilet, and had to be rescued. Another one said that bad behavior had been overstated. The fact that the Munchkins weren't due to arrive on set until after the Tin Woodsman sequence had been filmed should be enough to put the legend that one of them met their maker in the woods. I don't know. This one, it's not really fully debunked, in my opinion. I wonder if this is on some timeline. I've never heard of it, though. Like, so it shows up... It shows up as an urban legend that I've never heard of. And it's kind of debunked, but then it's not. I don't know on this one. So the witch actually got burned and kind of melted. And so did her stunt double. And the Tin Man ended up in an iron lung, which is like a tin man. So he became a Tin Man. I mean, like, okay. I mean, did the lion go on a carnivore diet? I mean, what? This is just too weird. I feel like we're getting trolled. I remember you talking about the sinkhole. So I talked about there was a cave system, and part of it did collapse, but it wasn't actually a sinkhole. Cave systems are a little bit different, but it was kind of similar in that it had its own. So this sinkhole thing is new, though. Supposedly they just found it, but all right. Now Joe Bloor remembers a crew member, not a munchkin, hanging in the background. The midget hanging in the background is something known for over 20 years. I've never heard of it. Okay, so for Washington Post, you can read like a couple articles and then it's like per month or something. Then it's like, now you have to subscribe. And I probably am just over my articles for the month. The other thing is I'm using a Brave browser, which is incognito, and some of those locations won't let you read any when you're in incognito mode. There was another painting incident. The girl with the gold body paint almost died because of the gold paint. I've heard of that a few years ago, but it was more like skin poisoning. They're saying that the silver one was like it got in his lungs. The thing is, he's not naked, so he would only need silver paint on part of him too. But they were saying it got like in his lung. So I'm assuming maybe like he huffed up too much dust or something. So somebody checked it. Obi-Wan does not turn off his lightsaber. Yeah, I remember him turning it off. I could even hear it in my head. And then he just puts his arms down. Like, that's it. I just couldn't understand that as a child. So yeah, I definitely agree that I'm going to write that one down. Yes, I will trust you guys that you verified it. Yeah, that is not right. Not right. Okay, what's the next one now? Okay, preliminal figured out what creature he didn't remember, but he couldn't remember the name of the creature he didn't remember existing at first, and then he remembered, and it was I forgot. Yellow-throated marten. Look, it's all shoes. Okay, where's the creature? Yellow-throated marten. And I agree, I have not seen this weasel-looking marten thing before. It's cute. Very cute. And they're not super rare. Very cute. So it's like a white, I don't know, these all of them are turning like white chins and black heads now, and then it's got this yellow body. It's yellow throated. It ironically, the throat actually looks like it's white, but the whole rest of it is yellow throated. I guess the lower throat is yellow, but that's a cool looking creature. I have never seen that one before. The colors on these things are getting more and more crazy. So I had just covered how the local weasel that showed up like last year, that is the long-tailed weasel, had gotten this big long tail, and now we have this thing that also has a similar look to how the weasel that locally changed, which is the weasel locally got like a white lower half of the face like this. So yeah, they're very cute. I wonder if they're going to start having those as pets, because it seems like everything can be pets. And it has like a super long tail. I remember they were saying that. Look at that. So cool. That tail, it looks like he's mad or something because it's all sticking out weird. The tail is huge. Look at that thing. Very interesting looking beast. I think I would remember that. We didn't have anything that cool in my old timeline. Very neat. Let's see. Now, if I recall right, these aren't super uncommon either. Yeah, they're always checking it. Large, robust, muscular, and flexible. Also known as the Karza or the Chuthraul, is the largest marten in the Old World, with the tail making up more than half its length. So the tail is longer than the body if it's more than half its length. Fur is brightly colored. Although similar to the beech marten, it's sharply differentiated from other martens by its unique color. Yes, I haven't seen any martens with that pretty a color yet. The beech marten is more plain. Let's see, where was it located? Distribution. Afghanistan and Pakistan, India, Nepal, Bhutan, Korea Peninsula, China, Taiwan, Russia, Bangladesh, Myanmar, Thailand, Malay, Laos, a bunch of places. India, blah, 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 Pakistan. Yes, it's a bunch of places. It's cool and they're pretty common, looks like. Very cool. This is kind of a short wiki considering how common this beast is too. So that is interesting. Ranges greatly. There's not a lot about its temperament or anything here. Yeah, it looks really truncated. I'm wondering if this thing is still getting fleshed out. So yeah, beautiful little beast. Oh, this is the one I probably should have put as the thumbnail. Okay, so yeah, prelim minimal found yellow-throated marten. This is from, I'm not sure how to say this one. The Yarn Oldie, maybe? Theyarnolde. And I probably should have used this as the thumbnail because they're cool. Okay, so I don't know if you recall, but they were saying like the stingrays, they go, lately I've been seeing these image of baby ones, and they had like the baby ones, if you looked at them like with the side, it's usually they're flat, but if you looked on the underside up, it had this weird looking, like it looked like a people face or something. It just had this weird creepy face, although it wasn't a face, it was just the lines under it looked creepy. And I'm like, that, I don't think that I've ever seen that. And then it was like everywhere. And so I was very suspicious that it was a Mandela. But yet I didn't really specifically recall what the underside of a stingray looked like. So it looks like that kind of a look is now like fleshed out more. And now we have a ray that looks like that. And it's the cow nose ray. So you can kind of see how it develops. First, you get like just the outline of it, and now it's popped out, and that's the face of the ray. Ooh, this is going to be a big one. Let's see if the computer can handle this kitty. Because this is a big image. You could do it, you could do it. Or maybe not. That might be too much. Let me get one that's not quite so big. Okay, so you could see here that weird look is like it's coming out into the 3D. And I don't know what's going down here. Like these little flaps. Are they going to be legs? But I've never seen one that had flaps down there before. It used to just go nicely into a tail. So now we've got this weird, I don't know, what looks like fringes on the mouth, funky teeth. Looks like a cow. This one might show its cowness a little better. So yeah, that's different. I don't know what's going on. I really should just check out the wiki real quick here. Oh yeah, that's right. I did check out the wiki. 2 to 3 feet, but could be up to 7 feet. Okay, that's a pretty big range. Yeah. Feeds on oysters, clams, blah, blah, blah. Migration. Cownose ray, teeth, and mouth parts. Stingray teeth consist of interlocking bars, dental plates that crush food. Huh, that's a new one. Check out the teeth. It's kind of like a rolling mill. That's pretty cool. See if it'll load here. I have not seen that before. So they have rolling mill teeth now. Ugh, this is not doing very well. Okay, check that out though. That's crazy. It almost looks like a rolling pin. That's pretty effective because you could crush like really pokey things that would stab into your mouth. But if you just have like a wall of these rolling pin teeth, consist of interlocking bars that crush food. That's so cool. It's almost like a like there's like, what is that? The gears and stuff that turn and suck things in. That is totally weird. I'm glad I looked that up. It was called a Bennett, then their name got Mandela, the yellow-throated marten. I wouldn't be surprised. I've seen some weird stuff with the names like that. This creature is well known in Canada. I don't know, do they have those in Canada? It didn't list Canada, ironically. They said the old world. Maybe they're shifting around too much. I don't know. They're cool though. Stingray was never looking like this. It could never fly out of the water. Yeah. Yeah, that one's an older Mandela for me when they started flying out of the water, though. I think that was actually the first like week I knew of the Mandela. That was one of the first days. I hadn't been watching a lot of TV, and then when I learned about the Mandela and I was like researching it, I'm like all these animal ones, and I put on the TV and I put on a nature show, and I just started looking, and I'm like, I just started seeing so many things that it was freaking me out. I think I just sent this like freaked out email like, oh my god, the stingrays fly out of the water, and oh my god, the alligators they take care of their young instead of eating them, and then there's all these things that had changed. I was like flipping out. Ireland cave with a portal vortex. Okay, I'll give that a shot. All right, cow rays, they have rolling pin teeth. I'll just call it that. The Irish cave known as the entrance to hell. I don't know if that's the one you're talking about or something else. Vortex spring, energy vortexes. All right, I'll do a quick click on this vortex or entrance to hell. The birthplace of Halloween. The buried is a portal to another world, another dimension. Some call it a gate to hell. It's stuck. Well, hell. Come on. Some of these websites are such crap. There's so much junk on them that it can kill my system when it's weak. All right, let's try it without that. Anyway, just let me know specifically what you mean, because the system is not very good right now with the random searching. As you can see, hopefully we're going to get it back up here. Come on. All right, I might have to try all over again. Let's try this. This kind of worked last time, so I'll give it another shot. Anyway, you got an hour and a half out of me, so we'll see if we can get the last half hour. If not, I might have to end it early. It's loading. Is it loading? Oh, hold on a sec. All right, here we go. Here we go. Hey, look, it even knew to go back to the old location. Anyway, so Kaunor's Ray was from the Yarn Oldie. Good fight. Okay, looks like we're back in business here for now. Kind of laggy. Okay, Renee Cruz remembers no crane bird, real person. I'm real suspicious that's probably true in some timeline. Or at least it's been a conspiracy theory in some timeline. Something's going on with that. Roller blender. Yeah, it's like a rolling pin gears teeth. That's really cool. So it's that cow one. I'm not sure if they all have that. I mean, I don't think so. I don't think that other ones have that. I'd be surprised. I guess it's possible, though. The Ireland cave with all these hieroglyphics, swirling designs, and crosses. Okay. If you have the name of it, let me know. I'm not going to randomly hunt right now because the computer's a little unstable. And we got a few more to go through. I'm going to try to get through. I'll do the easy ones first. This one's from Mark Tyus. So Peacock, we weren't... got to have a couple spiders. Peacock spiders, as if first they got that funny butt with all the colors. Then they were doing the dancing... So they dance with the butt. So they've got a new trick up their sleeve. These guys never get tired, I guess. I don't know what. Are they going to be like writing essays on Washington Post next or what? It's going to turn out that they're secretly ruling the universe. Peacock spiders wear a water droplet like a hat to impress potential mate. Jumping spiders with water droplets on their head. The massive water droplets stay in place. They begin the mating ritual by perching atop a high surface and waving. All right, let's just look at peacock spider facts and see if they agree with this. Okay, so they have the dancing. The males have vibrant colors. All right, this one does not cover the water droplets, but supposedly some places are saying They do. Wait, let me just see. Okay, so this is the story on Reddit. Is this verified? Okay, do they intentionally wear water droplets? Man, look at all this. I discovered today there are a lot of pictures of spiders wearing water drops as hats. No suggestion. There's no references. Someone suggesting the photographer's planting the water droplets. Could be. I'm a little suspicious about this story, though. I don't think that this is just a random chance. So first we had, there was that spider that made the water droplet or the air droplet in order to go underwater and still breathe. Now we have this. Someone is very skeptical, but there's no real answer either way. I think we're going to see more of this. So this one was from Mark Tyus. And it may not be this exact thing, but I think we'll see more of like some kind of water or droplets on the heads thing. Just like it's just like once the meme gets started, it just grows. It's like those cow-nosed rays. All right, I think I have two more. I don't think the heads of spiders were like that, 20 years ago either. Yeah, maybe that's a good point. Maybe we'll find that they're carrying their water supply on their head or something. It may not be spiders, but I almost guarantee there's going to be, this meme is going to spread and there's going to be some kind of a droplets on the head thing going on. So just wait for it. Okay. All right, so this is a new one of those weird reproductive things. Drop my pen again. Hold on. Keep it up there like I have brain cells. All right. And what was the deal? Oops, that's a different one. Okay, so what was weird about this one? It's getting more and more complicated. So this is one of those only female species that are new to the timeline, kind of new. But they can either do parthenogenesis or they can crossbreed with one of two other species, or they can be created if those two species breed, then they would create this species. So I've not really heard of that before, like two species breed and then they create a parthogenic species. So these guys are kind of like in like this weird trio with the other two species, like they're a third version of them. And actually, let's see. The other thing that's weird is they say that these whiptail, New Mexico whiptails, in order to lay their eggs, even parthenogenesis style, they still have to go through the mating ritual. So the story is somehow the mating ritual caused the hormonal activity. Now, I've never heard of that in any other species where the mating ritual by itself somehow causes reproduction. And it kind of makes me laugh because when I was a kid, I had a friend, I think we were like in third grade or something, and she was raised Catholic, and another friend that was raised Christian, and both of those two had been told by their parents that in order to get pregnant, the mother and the father get married and then pray, and then they're granted a baby. And so they thought that's where babies came from marriage and praying and a gift from God. Well, this is almost like that now. It's like they just do their little ritual and then they have a baby that you don't have to do like any other stuff. Oh, okay, so that was the story. They could either reproduce by, okay, I had it a little bit wrong. They could either reproduce, my brain is kind of tired today. They could either reproduce by parthenogenesis, like they just lay eggs out of themselves, or if the other two species bred, they would crossbred, they would create another one of this species. What this thing does not cover is what happens if one of these species crossbreeds with one of the original ones. And I'm really curious about that. You would think that they would cover it, but it was not in here. So it can be created by crossbreeding. So if two species crossbreed, then it should be that sometimes this weird middle one would sometimes cross back out, but it doesn't say what happens. A common theory is that the behavior stimulates ovulation and as those that do not mate do not lay eggs, but they're just females. Give rise to the common nickname lesbian lizards. I've never heard of that nickname, except for I think I did cover this creature once before. I just don't remember them being able to also be recreated anew by the crossbreeding of the other two species. And it's a crossbreed trait of western whiptail, which lives in the desert, and little striped whiptail, which favors grasslands. The lizard is a female-only species which reproduces by producing an egg through parthenogenesis. The whiptail engages mating behavior with other females of its own species. And then, like I said, it apparently has to do this mating behavior in order to lay the eggs. I think that's the new part there, for sure. So, yeah, it's just getting weirder. Got that. I think I only have one more. It's a little bit complicated. I put all the easy ones on. My brain is melting. I didn't even look hard for these. I had these days ago, so I don't even know what's going on anywhere else. Have you seen the recent changes of the human anatomy? No, why don't you let me know what they are? I'm not sure. Mizu Shingen Mochi. All right. You know what, Shari? I'm afraid to click on any YouTube links because it took it out. Maybe I'll just do a Google search on this mochi. Mizu Shingen Mochi. Miso in Japanese means water. Mochi is a kind of dessert made with glutinous rice. So it's like a gelatinous see-through mochi. So it's like a weird food then, basically. I have never seen that before. See-through balls. What do they taste like? Oh, you can put cool stuff in them. That would be kind of neat. You'd probably put like sugar flowers or something in there. All right, JJ, let me know what the recent changes to the human anatomy is, because I don't think I saw them. Sushi. Yeah, no, I don't think it's sushi because I don't think it's, it's not fish, so. All right, I'm going to go through the last one. Okay, so Mark Tyus found the ones with the peacock spiders, and he found this one also. And this has got to be a YouTube one too, so I hope I can make it happen. YouTube seems to hog a lot of memory. Bernoulli's. And I've already got one instance of it running because of you guys. Bernoulli's principle. Demonstrating. Demonstration. I think that's it. YouTube. I think it's this guy. All right, so Bernoulli's principle. I've not really heard a lot about it, but apparently it's some kind of a thing where if there's movement then of, like, say, air, then the pressure becomes less there. Like, I'm going to have to probably wiki this after I demonstrate this, but it looks really counterintuitive to me. You know, I used to be in very high-end schools, and they used to demonstrate all of the physics principles, and I'm just shocked at we demonstrated way more dangerous ones than this. I think he would have jumped at the chance to do easy ones like this if they were available at the time. So basically, he's got these bags, and they're like called Bernoulli bags for this principle. I'm not gonna play it because it'll copyright strike, but I'll jump to it. I'm pretty sure this is the guy. Oh, this is a different guy. Okay, well then my timing is gonna be all off. Burb. Let me see if there's any more of these guys. There was a way better visual of this. Let me try if I can find it again. Man, now it's nowhere in sight whatsoever. All right, it might be this one because this is one I've clicked on before. Oh, you know what? No, it's not toilet paper. Darn it, darn it, darn it. Okay, I'm going to try one more thing. I didn't think there was going to be like 100 of those. Oh, come on. This is the dude. Yes. Are you going to load? Oh, of course not. You stinker. That's frozen. Come on. All right. That looked good. You guys are gone too. Yep. This may be like the straw that broke the camel's back. Okay. See, the whole thing is out. I really should have taken you off and then ran that one. Yep, it collapsed. All right, let's try it again. All right, I only have this one left, and we've got 13 minutes, so I'll try to squeeze this one in, but I don't know if I'm going to make it. So yeah, I would say like a moderate busyness on the Mandelas this week. I didn't actually look for any. They just kind of jumped out at me. You guys had some. It's been a few weeks since you guys had very many. All right, I'm going to close the live streaming because I don't think it can run both of them at the same time. And we'll just try to get Bernoulli's in. And then I'll go back to you guys.
Hello, welcome to
so this is the dude.
Simply stated, Bernoulli's
I
principle
said
is
stop. All right. 201. See, I want this one because I have it all charted out exactly on where I want to put. Come on, go there now. Okay, so basically there's these long, they're like long socks, but they're like bags. They're not actually fabric. So she's going to try to blow up this giant sock bag thing. And he's giving her 5 breaths. So she's going to do it like we all normally would, which would we just put up to your mouth and blow as much lung power as you can in there. And as you can see, she doesn't get that much in because you only have, this is the sum total of 5 lungfuls of air. Which is, yeah, okay, pretty good. All right. And this is how we probably would all do it in, the old timeline. This is how you do it. But now there's this weird principle where it works better. Used to be if you blew out here, all your air would just go all over the place, right? But now if you blow out here from far away, the story is it'll actually like somehow suck surrounding air in because somehow the pressure lowers and air from everywhere else just like joins in. And so he's able to, she did just like that much with 5 breaths, and he's able to kick her butt all over town using 1 big breath from a distance because somehow like the surrounding air joins into the party. And this is called Bernoulli's principle. So you see how he did it, right? He started back here and starts blowing, and then he brings it a little bit closer. There. And he got that much air. This is like ridiculous. I'm going to replay it because it's hard to believe. Look at all that air. That did not come out of 1 lung. There's no way he has, 1 lung's full of air got that much.
Use Bernoulli's principle, and it's kind of like cheating.
And he kicked her butt all over town because she only had like maybe half that much air. So that is the whole point, is that this is Bernoulli's principle, which I feel is crazy talk. I'm going to go to the wiki, but it might be like all technical and stuff. But I mean, yeah, when you blow up a giant like bag or something, you don't start way out here and then just like a whole bunch goes in. That's crazy. It's just nuts. If a small volume of fluid is moving horizontally, all right, now it's all complicated. All right, I'm just going to get this short version. If a small volume of fluid is flowing horizontally from a region of high pressure to a region of low pressure, well, I don't know. I'm not finding it like in an easy to explain thing, but you guys can look it up. It states that the pressure of a fluid, including water, I guess, or air, decreases when either the velocity of the fluid or the height of the fluid increases. So the pressure increases when the velocity increases. I'm not exactly sure how that yields like a bunch of air going into the tube. I'm thinking maybe because you're blowing, there's less pressure there, so then air from surrounding like rushes in to fill the vacuum of less pressure and then joins the party, and then that starts moving too because he's still blowing, and then like air. Okay, that's I think how it works. I kind of thought about it and figured it out. So there's low pressure that pulls in surrounding air. So whenever there's a wind, there's going to be a lower pressure, and that's going to pull in surrounding air. Maybe that's why we have like all these derechos and insane windstorms now, because of Bernoulli's principle on steroids going on here. All right, I'm going to go back to you guys, see what's up. We got 7 minutes left. You know, I have to say, I think it's good that I have this 2-hour limit, because otherwise I just yap on and on and on. It kind of has like a standard of how long the show will be. Hour and a half to 2 hours. Live. There we are. Yeah, I should have put that cow manta ray thing in. I might change that out to put the cow ray on there. View live in control room. I said I wanted to. So if this changes, it's not looking good. If this thumbnail changes to a cow manta ray, it's not a Mandela effect. It's me changing it. Just warning you. Well, we got to the end of the show. Now, if I can just say goodbye and check out your comments, that would be appreciated. Might have to try this. All right, one more try. So I'll reboot this overnight, and hopefully it'll all magically be fixed by tomorrow. Not that that'll help you any, because it'll be a whole week before I see you again. See, now it's rebooting, and it magically knows to go to the old one. Usually it has to ask if I want to restore the old one. So that's interesting too. View in live control room. Ta-da! Live chat. I made some Bernoulli with basil. Sounds good, I think. I'm not sure what that is, though. Basil and Parmesan sound good. Stay classy in San Diego. Yeah, was I classy the first time? Yeah, we'll just pretend that I am. Yeah, the cow, what was that thing called? It's called Cow Nose Ray. You could check it out, but I'm going to probably switch that to be the thumbnail since it's so cool. It looks like it's, you'll see, just check it out. New 3-hour limit. Yeah, no, we're doing the 2-hour because that will transfer directly over to the other backup channel. I know the name Bernoulli from somewhere else, but I can't remember what. I don't remember there being a Bernoulli's principle. So, I mean, maybe I just wasn't in physics or anything, but I don't remember. Maybe it was there, but it wasn't to that extent. It just seems really weird that you could just blow from afar and have all the other wind join in. But if that's what's happening now, I mean, that explains epic windstorms, because once one gets going, then they all like join the party. Booney is an 1807 Japanese extraterrestrial alien woman that came from Japan, China, Philippines, sea, from UFO, and taught the native Japanese people how to make wasabi, pickled ginger, and sushi. I have never heard of that legend before. I have too many stuff on my desktop. I have a lot of interests, okay? I think my heart misses the 70s. I go back and forth on it. When I'm in a good mood, I'm fine, but when I'm in a bad mood, I do miss the old people that were less angry and judgmental. It just seemed like that anyway. I don't know. Maybe it was hidden inside them and now it's just coming out. I've had the water like mochi. It tastes like nothing. You have to eat it with the brown powder thing they serve it with. Huh. Well, that doesn't sound that exciting then. Okay, I'm going to look up the extraterrestrial woman. I have 2 minutes. I don't know if I'll be able to get it done, though. Actually, I probably have like 8 minutes because I was so late. The story of Art Utsuro Bune. She was carrying a white box and wearing velvet leggings. Some believe her saucer-shaped boat was a UFO calling it Utsuro Bune. Some say it's just a European ship. Huh. That is an interesting ship, though. I don't remember there being round ships from Europe either. They were able to haul the craft back to shore. One beach, they described it as 10 feet tall and 18 feet wide. The upper part appeared to be made of red-coated rosewood, and the lower part was covered with brazen plates. Yeah, it doesn't really sound like a normal boat, does it? Several windows on the upper part were made of glass or crystal covered with bars and were clogged with some kind of tree resin. The inside was painted with inscriptions written in unknown language. And it was described as looking like a kako, a traditional Japanese incense burner or wooden rice pit. 2 bed sheets, a bottle filled with several liters of water, some cake, and some beef were among the goods discovered by the fishermen. And a lovely young lady, don't forget that. She was 5 feet tall, red hair and brows, which appeared to be artificially lengthened with white extension made from white fur or tiny white powdered textile streaks. Huh. No one could understand what she was saying. The local village elder was consulted and speculated this woman could be a princess of a foreign realm. A very similar artifact with a woman had washed up on a nearby beach in the past. In this earlier incident, a little board with a human head pinned to it was discovered during this occurrence, which with the earlier woman as protective of the head in this current visitor was of her box. Huh. Okay. It definitely sounds like a UFO. I've never heard of this, though. Okay, they're thinking maybe it's this. That really just looks like they would call it a bucket if one of those came up. They wouldn't say it was an incense burner. Huh, okay, I don't know. Interesting, I've not heard that one before. So the Japanese have their own UFO thing now. All right, did Jay ever say what the latest... It's true, I haven't really seen any really striking physical changes lately. It seems like maybe we've settled down a little bit. I think things are still really slowly shifting, but it seems like it's a lot less. The story used to be about that woman appearing one day on a shore in Japan. There was nothing about a UFO before. Ah, interesting. That is how the Mandela likes to slip stuff in. It just adds a little interesting detail. The ET woman's story from Japan came for me at the same time as the two green children from Inner Earth. Huh. Yeah, that one was new for me. I mean, I can't say for sure I would know old Japanese legend, but American legend I should have heard about, especially if it's weird stuff like that, because I love that stuff. Okay, so yeah, there's a lot more UFO stuff now. There was some kind of super boring congressional meeting on it recently where they were as boring as politicians ever are and said close to nothing. But the mere fact that they even had the subject on there is highly interesting compared to the old days. They did admit that there was unidentified things flying around. They didn't talk much about what they thought it was in this congressional meeting. But it does definitely look like UFOs are on the menu for this timeline. Alrighty, guys. Well, you know what to do. Think good thoughts, everybody. This is Eva signing off for Once Upon a Timeline.